Howdy y'all and welcome back to the channel. The Fall Guy is the newest action film starring Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, directed by David Leitch. And in this movie, Ryan Gosling plays a stuntman who gets sent off to go find the lead actor of his movie, only to dive deeper and deeper into a conspiracy that involves him. For those of you unfamiliar with David Leitch's previous work, he directed movies such as Bullet Train, Hobbs and Shaw, and Deadpool 2. So with that, you kind of know what you're getting with this movie, and you know what, you guys? He was successful again. This movie is a fun, action-packed time at the movie theater. It seems like he has a pretty good formula now. He gets a couple of likable stars in there, gives them some one-liners, delivers some fantastic action set pieces. This one is very stunt-heavy, and just has you leaving the theater feeling like you just got off a really fun amusement park ride. I personally think Ryan Gosling is perfect for this kind of movie because he's proven in the past that he has comedic chops. You know what? Off the top of my head, the only action movie I can think of that he's done is that terrible The Gray Man movie that was released in 2022, or at least I didn't like it very much. But you know, he's a leading man. He's Ryan Gosling, you guys. He can do it all. Off the top of my head, other than that, I can't think of any other action movie that he's done. But I figured he would be comedic, he would be fun, and that's exactly what he is in this movie, y'all. He's a whole lot of fun in The Fall Guy. He delivers a really great performance with some very earnest moments as well, involving Emily Blunt's character. Which Emily Blunt was good in this movie as well. She doesn't have as much to do as Ryan Gosling. She's definitely a supporting actor in this movie. Like, I know that she's top billed in this, but Ryan Gosling is the lead. But I mean, she's Emily Blunt. She doesn't deliver bad performances, and that's no different here. And really, at its core, this movie is more of a action romantic comedy because Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling, this is in the first 5 minutes of the movie, it's clear that they are old flames, and Ryan Gosling kind of ghosted Emily Blunt. I'm not going to get into why he did, but there are some feelings there. They're reconnected, and they're trying to re-spark what they had before. All while this crazy plot is happening in the background, and Ryan Gosling is, you know, surfing along the freeway on a car door or whatever it is. All while there's a lot of action-packed stuff going on. There's really, at its core, this romantic comedy sort of plot going on that I really dug. You know, it's not a perfect movie. It's not Jane Austen. It's not Shakespeare, but it's fun, and I actually really liked the romantic comedy plot of this film. It really struck a good balance in there. That's something that I really like about David Leitch, is he seems to really know how to balance the action and the comedy aspects, because I really love the action in Bullet Train. I love the action in Deadpool 2, and I love the action in this movie, right? Obviously. But he knows how to sprinkle in comedy without it defeating the purpose of the action, and without the action feeling less hard-nosed. But don't get me wrong, this movie is littered with plot holes. There's a lot of stuff in this movie that I feel like could have easily been resolved, or a lot of things that certain characters do that don't really make a whole lot of sense. One specific plot hole, I'm going to do my best not to spoil anything, but it involves footage of a character, right? And it is destroyed. However, that footage is then used against another character. I know that sounds vague, but if you see the movie, you should know what I'm talking about here. And of course, it's always possible that I just missed something there, but I don't think I did, personally. I think it's a pretty gaping plot hole of this film. Also, without getting into spoilers, the lead actor in the movie within the movie has this whole security force team. I don't know if that's normal for Hollywood actors. I'm sure they do have security, but these guys are like military grade sort of folks. I don't know if that's normal, but it seems kind of out of left field for me. Maybe people that are in the industry are like, oh no, that's totally realistic. Like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has that, Jason Momoa has that. But for me personally, it seemed a little much. I also love the soundtrack of this movie. Have you guys noticed the soundtracks for these action movies have gotten just incredible since, I guess, Guardians of the Galaxy? I'm sure that there are plenty of action movies with great soundtracks before then, but it feels like in a movie like this, there have just been so many bangers in it. Like, this movie is littered with great songs, and it's not just upbeat songs. There's a significant scene involving All Too Well by Taylor Swift that was very funny. They played it off super well. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the soundtrack of this movie. So with all that being said, you guys, you gotta come in with the proper expectations. This isn't gonna win any Oscars because, as this movie jokes about, there is not an Oscar for stunt work, which I think there absolutely should be. But it is a good, fun time at the movie theater, and with this being directed by a former stuntman, it has incredible stunts. Really, at its core, this movie is it's celebrating stunt work in films, and there were a few stunts in this movie where my jaw was on the floor. I couldn't believe what they had just accomplished. But I give this movie a 4 out of 5 on my Letterboxd account because it delivered what I wanted, but it's not perfect. But what did you think of The Fall Guy? Had you had a chance to go out and see it? Are you gonna go see it the next few weeks? What are you looking forward to? Leave me a comment down below, and be sure to subscribe to this channel if you like this and you want to see more. This is why I can't take a break from YouTube, y'all. Alright, bye.